Today I'm going to show you how to make an Irish seafood chowder. It's an excellent recipe for St. Patrick's Day, but it's also awesome any time of the year. American chowders usually start with bacon as a base. For an Irish chowder, we use a smoked fish. Here, because we are in Oregon and we love salmon, I'm using smoked salmon. This is going to give us our depth, that base note that's going to support all of the more delicate flavors in this. The first step for our chowder is to start an onion in a little bit of butter. We just want to give it about a minute. It just should be bubbling away. We don't want to fry the onion, we're just trying to soften it. Our next step is to add a tablespoon or so of garlic. That's going to go in, we'll cook it for a minute, and then potato, and then we'll sprinkle in our flour. Now I'm using all-purpose whole wheat flour. I'm basically making a little bit of a roux to add some thickness to this. You want it to cook until it just smells kind of aromatic, toasty. As soon as you smell that, then you add 3 cups of seafood stock and bring it to a simmer. So the soup now has a tiny bit of body to it. I always use fresh bay leaves when I can find them. The fresher the better. If it's been sitting in the cupboard for a little while, or you're not sure how old it is, it doesn't really have a good, strong, fragrant smell to it, then I would just discard it and get some fresh ones. So at this stage, we're going to add 1 quart of milk. I'm using whole milk. You could use a 2%. So now we have our milk in the pot and we're going to add the smoked salmon to it. I have a ½ pound piece here. That does seem like a lot, but it is really necessary to have a good amount of smoked fish in this. The smokiness matters in a chowder like this. We're going to let it simmer for just a few minutes. During that time, we're going to get all of our seafood ready. Let's talk about clams. Steamer clams are one of my favorite things. They should have a very clean smell, almost like standing on like the rocks at the ocean. The steamer clams take a few minutes to open up. They'll take about 5 minutes or so before they finally pop. So get those in there really quick. The next thing I'm going to add are some prawns. I always, when I use them, make sure that I take the tails off. You don't want any of the prawn shells in this. I have some bay scallops here. They're wonderful in soups, but they're very delicate. If they cook too long, bay scallops will start to get chewy. So you really want them in the pot only for about 3 minutes. The last thing to go into the dish here is our whitefish, or cod. So I'm just gonna dice this into about 8 pieces or so, and it'll go in and it cooks in a flash, like 2 minutes, it'll be done. I'm using frozen corn. I prefer frozen corn. It just has more integrity to it than using a canned corn. I have some fresh chives and fresh parsley. I'm going to use about a tablespoon and a half. Really, it's to taste, as much as you would like. I love that both of these add a lot of brightness to the dish. Our chowder is done. It's only been about 25 minutes. Everything's finished in the pot. We're just going to dish it up and enjoy it. So to serve alongside our chowder, I have chosen our Irish soda bread. This is the best Irish soda bread I've ever had, and it's loaded with currants. It's just deeply flavorful and really wonderful. Here it is, our Irish seafood chowder. It just smells fantastic. It's amazing, delicious. I highly recommend you do this at home.